So today I decided to pick these fabulous pop art tarot cards, and I did a little short on Instagram, and this one came up about talent, and I wanted to explore that a little bit further in a reading. So we're going to use this deck. I'm also going to incorporate the Arcanium one because it's got lovely pictures, and this new Oracle deck, Luminous Pathways, for a little bit extra guidance. So starting with this, the message on it is about dedication to your career, skill development, showcasing your talents and receiving financial rewards and independence. Now, I thought this tied in quite well with last week's reading and how that interconnected with the reading at the beginning of the year, because there's been a slow progress, and you might have felt that things weren't sort of taking form. But the June reading and the weekly reading were showing us that actually things are starting to take place. And here we can see this girl putting into all the effort, creating dishes, mixing the ingredients, and 8 is the magical number for money, and she's going to get rewards for this. So let's have a little look. I'm going to pop that at the top, and let's use the entire deck. Now, these have got a very oracle cardy feel to them, but they are actually a tarot deck, and they're probably supposed to be used in a very different way. This card sort of gives me the hint that of what you may have felt, and this is why your talents are going to start re-rising. It says defeat, it says loss, heartbreak, breakup, stress, burnout, failed investment. So you could be having to recover from that time, and your talents and your dedication to keep going, even if this is taking a little bit of a long time, are going to start paying off. A 10 is a completion, and also in that card it's about probably the 10 of swords defeat, but perseverance. Oh, they're working well. Perseverance there. So you are being guided not to be dragged down by the previous failure or the fact that there's a little bit more hard work involved. It says enduring challenges, focusing on self-improvement, exhaustion from work, feeling drained and fatigued, financial strain and economic pressure. So you are overcoming this at this time. Whenever you see this reading, it's timeless, and you are in the final battle, in the final steps to achieving something great. Yeah, you might be feeling restricted, trapped, passive. You might have fears of job-related changes related to anxiety about finances, and you might feel a little bit blocked and be worrying that you can't actually escape. This is 8 of Swords energy, that you can't escape from that. So you're just getting a little bit haunted by the things that have left you in this current time of lack of finances. But of course, the overall energy is this wonderful, wonderful talent. And you need to release these talents and keep going with what you're doing. Things don't just snap into place straight away. You don't just be an overnight success, even if it does actually feel like it sometimes. This is leadership in reverse. It's like the king of, I would say maybe king of wands. Yeah, king of wands, I think. Charismatic partner, taking the initiative, career achievement, holding a respected position, financial stability, generosity towards others. So there we're getting another reminder that whatever you've been working hard on is actually going to pay off. That is entrepreneurial energy. And if you are working for someone, this will be a creative role, or you'll have a bit more autonomy in what you do. But the rewards are soon. Reunions. Returning to a previous job, And that may not mean a specific job with a company. It may just mean you are returning to things you did in that previous role. Moving back in with parents receiving financial gifts. So you could be having to sort of regroup on your finances just to stay keeping your overheads low at this moment in time. This is a really lovely card. That's a really nice. 6 of Cups. It's that nostalgia. And like I said, returning back on to skills or talents that you previously used, and you're going to be drawing on those to help you get this extra success. Yay, it's exciting. So let's have a look at what's happening now. The world. Feeling grateful, so practicing gratitudes that you're able to actually carry out those talents, that you do have the talents, that you have persisted. Finding fulfillment in your professional path. Yeah, so aligning, this came out in some of the other readings, aligning with things that you love to do, reducing the things that you don't love to do, perhaps outsourcing them, perhaps you know, just completely cutting them out if they're things that you don't enjoy in that role. And it says achieving a significant financial goal. So whether that is that actually culminating now, or whether that is staying focused, pinning it on your charts, staying connected to your business plan, looking at what you're trying to achieve. I'm seeing the world there, obviously, and it could be involving expansion, or literally relocating, or being able to work remotely. And that's a good vibe. 12, 21, the world, major arcana. So I would say that is something you're inputting now, and you are holding that vision of it. So I would say if you're doing that now, you've been doing that since the beginning of year, you're going to start seeing very clear signs that within a year to 18 months, possibly a little longer, this really big expansive vision is going to start like coming together. So this is going to have been a long, slow journey. The Emperor reversed. Competition, bureaucratic obstacles. Makes sense if you were like setting up structures. Avoidance of responsibility, poor financial discipline, out of control spending. So it's a reminder to set those budgets and those structures up, and to be operating as though you're operating in a bigger environment. So if you're really looking to bring in a lot more money and you're used to working at a lower level or within a lower budget, you now start putting in the processes that are going to enable you to expand once everything starts kicking into place, because you don't want to be suddenly playing catch up once you move into that new structure. Ooh. Intellectual work, quiet, reliable, dedicated partner, committing in a relationship, dreaming big, further training, establishing healthy financial habits. Whoa. Exactly. Putting in that structure, not playing small, like really looking at what it is you want in your life. If you're at the later part of your life, knowing that it's still possible even though you've gone through things. And if you're having to start again, remembering that you come with all the knowledge and all the skills, all the talents that you've used before, and that the defeat that you've had is also a learning experience. So this is yeah, I love these cards. They're my favorite. They're just great. I love a bit of pop art, as you've already seen. And lies in a relationship, feelings of suspicion, gossip, sabotage at work, jealousy among colleagues, shady business deeds, fraud, theft or scams. So I think that's, again, not so much that that's coming at you, it's more that these are things that you need to be aware of, and making sure your compliance is order, making sure that your structure is okay, making sure that your finances, your tax methods are all, you know, above board, all correct, and that you've got that structure in place so you don't suddenly accidentally maybe go from, non-VAT to VAT level, and that throws off your pricing. So starting up your business using the correct format and the correct structure, that is the message I'm getting from that. 3 more to go. Attraction. Having unrealistic expectations in relationships, but practicing diplomacy at work, mediating financial disputes, using creativity to achieve your financial goals. Yeah, and I am getting this creative vibe, because it started off with talents and the world and this like leadership, and I feel that you have to be creative in terms of ensuring that that business, so don't get bogged down by the little things. So if you're like a sole trader and you're just trying to do everything, maybe you can outsource. I mentioned outsourcing. Maybe you can outsource some bit of it, so you can focus on the feel of your business, what you want to give to your clients, what services they're going to get, and how effective that is going to be in retaining your clients. I love this. It's a lot. This has come out as not just something you might do as a hobby. This has come out as a real strong business idea. Overload. It's in reverse. It says relief from overwhelm, work, finding support, delegating tasks, recovering from burnout, easing financial strain, and finding assistance. Yeah. So that's again backing up that support. That sorry, I'm having to read these because I don't know this deck well. I've literally had it a few days, and I had this feeling of delegation or outsourcing stuff. So making sure that you're focusing on the things you're good at and finding someone else to do, or another aspect of it, maybe making use of AI, or like I said, outsourcing companies that can do certain bits for you, so you can focus on the service giving bit, the bit that you're good at, the reason that your talents are thriving, and you can focus on that aspect that you're really good at, but without neglecting the structure of your business. Justice in reverse. Major arcana again. It says unjust work environment, dishonesty in your career, avoiding responsibility, shady dealings, and dodging financial accountability. So yeah, being financially structured is very important. And I feel if you're already in employment, then you are going to be looking at working for yourself or setting up a company to avoid that negativity that you're getting in a workplace, or perhaps there's a ceiling on where you can go and expand, or you're stuck within a rut. So that was pretty clear there, and I don't particularly feel that we need any clarifiers, but I am going to pull this mini deck just to check and see any other messages. Yeah. So at the moment you might be blocking your intuition because the High Priestess there in reverse means you may be getting strong signals about where to lead your business, or where to make this next career move, how to integrate your talents and how to use those existing skills that you've got. And you might just be feeling a little uncomfortable, and I do get the sense that that is because of your past experience. You may have lost confidence under an employment contract where your talents were not being fully utilised, and so although you're getting that push and that drive to do it, you're sort of feeling a little bit nervous about it. And also, once we've experienced disappointment or failure, that can make us view things through a different lens, that things are not as probable, but they are as probable, because if you've been successful before, you can be successful again. So that is the message I'm getting there from that. Six of Cups again. Now that is a repeating card because we got the Six of Cups. Actually, this is just about to lay over the top of that. So it's double Six of Cups. So it's using stuff that you have used in the past. It's going back to something, an experience that you have had before, and you know how to do this. You don't need to be worried at all. You know how to do this. You've got the skills, you've got the talents, you've also got the living experience, and it could well be something you loved doing. So that's nice. It's an extra reinforcement. that you are on the right track, and you may even have some business contacts or some people that can support you in helping the growth. If it's an area that you're not sure about, you think, well, I know how to do this, but I don't know how to do that. And the devil. I think that you are going to get carried on, absolutely obsessed with this idea that you're doing, and you're going to sort of throw in more and more energy to it. And that persistence and perseverance is going to create this leadership energy that you're getting. And I'm drawn a few more. 7 Pentacles. Investment in yourself, investment in your new business. Obviously working within a budget, but not restrictively so. So if you need a new system or you need to consult on marketing, those planned strategic investments are not gonna disappoint you. They're gonna provide. There may be a waiting time, so it could be a lead time, takes a while before you start getting your first substantial business in. So in the meantime, you might be crossing over with employment on and doing this as an evening kind, a side hustle or something like that. But I feel like that quite soon you will be ditching the employed role, because you will be able to survive on the income. And then in reverse, 7 of Cups. So you are going to focus solely on the idea that you've got. You won't be dipping in and out of different ideas. You'll become a lot more sort of focused and driven in the ideas that you're getting, and you'll be able to weed out which is a good area is worth pursuing and which areas are worth leaving behind. You don't need to sort of be grabbing at all the opportunities that are there for you. And finally, the Hierophant, symbolizing the structure that is required to do this. And we touched on it earlier in terms of formulating whether you're going to be, what sort of legal status your business is going to operate on, and how you're creating your plan and the structure that you require for your day. And the Hierophant is there in institutions. So it could be, as we looked at investments, you're looking at how you're going to fund it, or whether you can whether you can do it solely through the money that you're generating, or whether you do need to take out a bit of finance and go to institutions. It can be relating to the knowledge. So you already know what you're doing, but you also need to you can draw on the information that you already have. So one more message of guidance from this Luminous Pathways, and more lovely bright cards. Autumn equinox, harvest, gratitude and balance. Yeah, so remembering through this stressful time of trying to develop, maybe moving away from employment into self-employed, you need to balance that. I know that is also my friend and I, when we were looking at these, she mentioned this was like the Libra scales. So we could be, looking up into that around that time, that you get your real abundant harvest, the first time you really notice things are going well. We did have Justice in reverse, so things are starting to improve for you. And while you're going through the process of building everything up, remember to retain your gratitudes. Well, I loved doing this little pop art tarot. If you would if this resonates and you would like readings on your business or your career, we can explore different pathways and dig deeper into that. You can book with me in the link. Thanks.